What's up, everybody? It's Jeff with Encore. I'm back with a great, important video that I think is going to help a lot of people. In this video, you'll get to learn about a new technology that is going to solve a lot of issues with suspect or just bad concrete. Okay, people ask me all the time, how long does cool last? How long does the cool pool deck coating last? And anyone in the coatings industry, especially the DIY subcategory of the coatings industry, knows that is a very loaded question. But the two things that keep me up at night that I know will reject pretty much any coating is a bad pour, a bad cure of concrete, or high levels of hydrostatic pressure, which is a fancy word for moisture vapor coming up through the concrete that could provoke a coating to bubble. And ironically, sometimes these two issues go hand in hand. And again, I've seen them reject really good products early, and it's just a headache, okay? It's pretty easy to identify bad concrete, right? I have other videos that talk about this in detail, but I tell people, hey, if you have relatively new concrete, go out there and rub your hand across it. And if you have any white chalky powder on your hands, it's a huge red flag. I've called it the kiss of death before for coatings. And then, of course, the moisture vapor that comes up if you're on the water table, like in Florida, and you don't have a visqueen plastic barrier between the concrete and the soil. If you're on the water table, if you have a clogged drain, if you have a low spot right by some soil, you know, after it rains, all this moisture vapor is coming through your concrete. And if you don't know how to identify it, it's almost impossible to know until you introduce resistance to that surface. And now you have a bubbling coating in that moisture corridor where that pressure is the strongest. So it's just a pain in the butt, right? To have bubbles on this beautiful pool deck you just did, and then you have to go back and fix it. It seems that bad concrete is more common than ever for some reason. And again, I've described it as the kiss of death, not only for our coating, but many coatings. So the purpose of this video is to teach you how to remedy these issues using densifier treatments from Accuron. Because we are now a proud new distributor of Accuron products. Years ago, I started looking for solutions to these issues, and I found Accuron, and we've been working together in some capacity for years. And so I flew out to Texas, I took their training course, and now we are a distributor. So if you need, if you have any of these issues on your concrete slab, please call us, and we can take care of you. These products are the best in class as far as densifiers go that I've found. And quite frankly, Accuron Corporation is the kind of people I want to be working with. They're great folks. So I do have plenty of videos of how you can identify the bad concrete or a bad cure that results in that dreaded white chalky powder. But I'm going to show you how these products can not only cure these issues, but create an environment where coatings can thrive, which is amazing because we're going to take, you know, a surface that could previously not even support a coating and turn it into a surface that can support a coating for the long haul, right? Which without these products, you would kind of just be out of luck. So I'm going to show you how to apply this stuff. I'm going to show you the protocol. I'm going to show you how to set up this airless paint sprayer. We have two densifiers from Accuron. One is called CPT2000. The other is called MVB. CPT2000 you spray on with an airless paint sprayer. You can rent one from your local Home Depot. We just went there for $117. We got one for 24 hours. I'm going to show you how to set that up. I'm going to show you how to do this. So this is a very important video. It's going to help a lot of people. It's going to save you a lot of headache, and stay tuned. All right, everyone. So this is the pool we're going to be doing. A friend of mine's, and they've offered it up. And so it's not a big pool deck, but we're going to start over here pressure washing. But I wanted to show you, you know, this looks like older concrete, which I'm not really as concerned about finding the white powder on it, but we'll rub our hand always, you know, in various areas. We're always going to rub our hand if you have bare concrete. And if you have any of that white chalky powder on your hands, you know you have an issue. But even if you have bare concrete like this, and maybe it's 20 years old, you've never had a coating on it, so you have no reason to believe there might be a moisture issue, this is a great test to figure out if you have moisture, okay? What could also work, right? What we're doing here is introducing resistance to any moisture vapor that might be trying to escape. That's how we're going to figure out if we have it, right? Another test is if you have a rubber mat, just go throw it out, perhaps right by the soil, right? Or perhaps by one of these drains, or, you know, we're trying to find moisture vapor. So what we've done is taken a clear sheet of plastic. You could even use saran wrap, but we've duct taped it down really well. This is like Gorilla Tape or something. And now it rains. So there is some moisture on the top of here. I'm not worried about that, right? What I'm worried about is what's underneath. Look at this. There is a ton of moisture coming through here. Okay, it's right by the soil, kind of on the low side of everything. And, you know, this is an issue, you know, and again, this product is breathable to an extent, but if this is prevalent enough and this is bad, it could provoke the coating to bubble. So perfect example, we just got out here. Eric did this for me. I said, hey, go throw some tape on the ground, some plastic sheeting, really seal it up and introduce that resistance. So as you can see, if you don't do this test, and all you know, oh, I have great concrete, right? There's no white chalky powder, and you just slap a coating on this. This is the hidden gremlin of it all, and we're going to show you how to block this moisture. So stay tuned. We're gonna pressure wash first, and then I'm going to hop into the protocol of what these products will do to your concrete and how you fit in or feather in the cool pool deck coating protocols. Okay, so we just finished pressure washing the deck, and I wanted to take the time to go over these Acuron products in detail because I don't want to mess it up. I don't want to see you mess it up, and I don't think you want to see either of us mess it up. So I got a little protocol here today, and first and foremost, I want to start out by saying you are only a candidate for this treatment if you have bare concrete. If you have a coating on your concrete, even a sealer, you're not going to be able to apply this without removing that previous paint or coating or sealer. Sealers will reject this, and so will paints and coatings. We need to be able to sink into bare concrete, right? If you remove some of those paints and coatings with a grinder, you must evacuate 100% of that grind residue from the bare concrete before you apply CPT2000 or any densifier, because that grind residue has concrete in it, and this will react with that residue right on the surface. You'll have a huge mess on your hands. So if you grind to remove something, you have to evacuate that completely, however you choose to do so. Just make sure it's gone. Vacuuming, pressure washing, etc. You want to cover and protect all glass and aluminum. So watch out for your glasses, your eyeglasses, your watches, perhaps. You want to protect natural surfaces like stone or brick. It could leave a residue on there that can be removed, but you know, it's one of those things you just have to come back and pressure wash later. 0 VOCs on this stuff. 0 VOCs, so no special personal protection equipment is required, but if you're in a close space, you know, it could irritate your throat. But it's 0 VOCs. Very friendly stuff, and we're out here, so it's good ventilation. So what is CPT2000 going to do? I'd like to read a little bit from the tech data sheet. I'm going to pick out some of my favorite things that apply to pool decks, okay? It permanently, integrally seals the concrete, okay? And it does it not in the way of a topical sealer that would reject a top coat such as the Cool, but it's sealing the inside matrix of the concrete. Preserves matrix integrity, increases surface abrasion resistance, excellent pre-treatment for coating systems, adds density, significant resistance to salt and chloride ion intrusion, so chlorine, salt, significantly enhances the cure, increases surface strength and traction, minimizes the effects of freeze-thaw. That's a big one for people in the Northeast. I get a ton of questions. Will this last in the Northeast weather where you have snow and ice accumulation? A lot of freeze-thaw. This will stabilize your slab. Improves thermal resistance, increases strength, which does depend on the available alkalinity in the concrete, but it is going to increase the strength. 0 VOCs or VOS content. Reduces permeability and porosity. makes ice removal cleaning easier, improves acid and chemical resistance, lowers internal chemical reaction potential, and it's a non-structural repair in a way. So also a big thing here is that it's what, July? It's early July, and it's so hot out here in Georgia. If it's approaching 90, 95 degrees, the concrete must be damp before you apply CPT2000 to break the surface tension so it can get in there and do what it needs to do. So therefore, directly after your pressure washing, maybe your concrete's still damp by the time you get done. Probably not, but you're going to want to have maybe a sprayer or the pressure washer handy just to kind of mist the concrete, cool it down, break the surface tensions, and then come back and spray CPT2000. Okay, so we have our airless sprayer set up over here. I'm going to show you how to get that going. We have this bucket of CPT2000. What's going to ultimately happen is we're going to start off with a 10 by 10 section, and we are going to spray with our nozzle 8 to 10 inches from the ground, completely vertical to the ground, perpendicular. And we're going to move at about, 1 linear foot per second. That's the rate that we're going to spray this, and we're going to do it twice. So we're going to choose a 10 by 10 section, do our thing in an east to west direction. And then we're going to kind of stand back, and when about 60% of that has penetrated, we're going to come back in a north-south direction, okay, and treat it a second time. That's how you apply CPT2000. If any excess ends up on the surface, puddling and whatnot, you just want to broom it out. You don't want any puddling going on. So let's show you the sprayer. All right, so this is our rental airless sprayer from Home Depot. Like I said, $117 for 24 hours of use. Here's what you want to do. I got a bucket of clean water here. When you get this, there's really no telling what's in the pump, what's in the line. So you want to purge it with some clean water. I like to make sure it's set to the prime position. So when you turn this on, this is in the prime position. It's going to automatically prime the pump and spit out some purge here. So watch it. Okay, so now it's primed, and when you switch it to spray, now you're ready to spray. So this is on the spray setting, and you want to, I've already purged this very, very well, okay, before we shot or turned on the camera. But I'm going to purge the hose for a good 60 seconds, okay? And you want to make sure you just have clean water coming out. All right, another thing, y'all, I want to say this extension is absolutely crucial because you're not going to find me on my hands and knees with just the gun. I mean, usually this tip housing and the tip is right here on the gun. So you're never going to find me on my hands and knees doing this whole deck like this, right? So I actually bought this and I got a tip size. Tip size is very, very important. Your tolerance here is a 515 to a 519. So I'm right here in the middle at a 517, a 517 tip is what you need. So I've purged the hose, I've primed it, and then purged the hose. There's nothing but clean water coming out. I'm going to switch my water bucket with CPT. I'm going to prime the pump again with CPT, and then I'm going to spray out the water until I feel the CPT coming out. Again, it's not gonna hurt you. You're gonna feel it kind of slimy. It's gonna be like a very slippery consistency on your skin. All right, so got the CPT2000 under the sprayer, and now I'm going to purge all the water that's in here, and I'm going to be feeling for the slipperiness of CPT2000. All right, now I feel it. All right, so yeah, it takes about a good 30 seconds to pull that through this hose. So again, we're going to be treating this in a 10 by 10 area. We're going to choose a 10 by 10 area. By section is fine. East to west. This thing's straight perpendicular to the ground, 1 linear foot per second. Another thing, this sprayer is, you need at least 3,000 PSI on your airless sprayer. This is 3,100, so I pretty much have this sucker cranked up, and let's go. Try to keep your nozzle completely vertical to the concrete. Now, Acuron will describe it as a sheen, okay? You want to sit back and watch for about 60% of it to be penetrated. And once that happens, I'm going to hit it again with a north-south. All right, so you can kind of see 60% or so has sank in, 50 to 60, and we're ready to hit it with the second pass. All right, so broom is always nice to have on hand. In fact, it's kind of crucial because if you get excess CPT on the surface puddled up anywhere like this, for whatever reason, you want to broom it out. Broom it out, because if there's any really, really thick excess CPT2000 on the surface, it could be a bond breaker for coatings. So remember that, it's pretty important. So just broom it out and you'll be good to go. Okay, everybody, we're done spraying the CPT2000. A little thing that happened with our rental sprayer, our lovely sprayer, is it had a leak in the hose. So it was leaking CPT2000 onto the concrete. Okay, just one of those things that happens on jobs, is the unexpected. So in that case, you don't want that excess CPT2000 on the deck puddling, because it will create a residue and it's a bond breaker for any coatings. So what we did in that situation is Caden was just brooming it out the best we could, managing the hose. Didn't want a lot of it leaking into the pool, but you did see me come up to the coping. I did not spray the vertical face of the coping. I believe the CPT is going to penetrate down enough to bypass that, but you want to be careful with overspray getting on glass tile, but that's really the only thing you want to worry about. This pool does not have glass tile, and a little bit of residual overspray into the pool. It's water-based stuff, 0 VOC, 0 VOS. So the only thing you really need to worry about is it hitting some glass tile. So we're going to wait 24 hours now. And tomorrow, the first thing we're going to do when we come out here is pressure wash it again. Okay, so 24 hours after the CPT2000, you do have to pressure wash again. And this is just best practice, because just in case you have some excess residue from the CPT2000, you can evacuate that. Just in case it may have left some residue on some stone, you can pressure wash that away. But more than anything, it's just best practice. Also, what can happen is, this is going in and reacting with all these minerals that are in the matrix of the concrete, all through those little highways and the pores. So when that happens, it's creating this gel, this hydrogel, which is doing all the good stuff for you. But in doing so, it can purge a lot of chlorides and things out of the concrete. So in rare cases, you could have what Acuron refers to as a weeper, I think, and it's just a hot spot where it's like a highway for this purge to come out, and you can see it. So in that case, if you have leftover CPT2000, you can continue treating it. If you don't, multiple pressure washings over multiple days might be necessary to just get all that out, because that will also be a bond breaker for coatings. If that's going to happen on a pool deck, it's most likely going to be right by the coping where you have a lot of saltwater intrusion over the years, and it might happen there. So just watch out for that. I don't expect any purging to happen on this deck. I think tomorrow morning we're going to come out here, pressure wash it, and then get to installing the second densifier, which is MVB, moisture vapor barrier. This is the second densifier from Acuron. So do you need CPT2000, or do you need MVB, or do you need both? I want to get to the bottom of this. So if you have newer concrete that has the white chalky powder, you automatically need CPT2000. Hopefully that's the only one you need, and you don't have to go this far, and that'd be great. Meaning go that far to apply this after the CPT2000. If you do the moisture test that we showed you earlier, and you also have a moisture issue, then you will need both. Okay, but most cases you can probably get away with just the CPT2000. This particular pool deck did not have any chalk on it, but we wanted to show you the CPT2000 application. And it's only going to strengthen this concrete even more, right? It's just an awesome investment, a permanent investment to the concrete itself. But we did the moisture test. You know, the hidden gremlin was there, and now we're totally bulletproofing this slab by doing the CPT and the MVB. So this is a one coat only product. This will be applied. You know, I could probably use a 3/8 inch nap on this, or a 1/2 inch nap roller. This is just one modest coat. You don't want excess of this on there. You know, you just want to be wetting out the concrete. One modest coat. Do not do 2 coats. It will be a mess, and you just want one coat. But this will go a lot further, whereas the CPT2000 with 2 passes, a 5-gallon bucket will complete 750 square feet. This MVB will complete 1,750 square feet. 1,700, it's like 300 to 350 a gallon, similar to regular paint. But you're only going to roll one coat of this, and after that, this concrete is going to be strengthened, pH balanced, stabilized from freeze thaw and chemical attack. It's going to be just so awesome. This is going to be more of a topical on top to block. I think with both of these, this can block like 9 to 11 psi of hydrostatic pressure, which is pretty good. And it creates an environment where a coating can thrive for a long time and perform. So this is awesome stuff. So this will add a couple extra days, because after the CP2000, you wait 24 hours. After we roll this on tomorrow, we're going to wait 24 hours again, and then we're going to apply cool. So, okay, day 2, we're out here. We just pressure washed the deck again after the CPT2000 was applied yesterday. And so today we're going to be rolling out the MVB. It permanently seals the concrete surface, improves adhesion of topicals, like the cool pool deck coating, preserves matrix integrity, increases surface abrasion resistance, excellent primer for water-based coatings such as ours, adds density, improves thermal resistance, increases strength of surface, 0 VOC or VOS content, improves acid chemical resistance, lowers electrostatic discharge potential. So what we're going to do is I got a tray. You can roll it out of a tray here, or you can pour a manageable amount onto the surface and kind of roll it out as you need. You want it to wet the concrete, but you don't want it to puddle. Okay, just like the CPT2000. And just like the CPT2000, if you're at 95 degrees outside, you're going to need to wet the concrete first to cool it down. You don't want puddled water. You can just broom that out, but you want the concrete to be damp and cooled down so everything can penetrate and do its thing. So we're going to start here. It's actually cloudy, thank God. And like I said, we're in like mid-July, and it's been super hot out here. Yesterday, it wasn't quite 95, so we did not miss the concrete, but we had cooled it down from the pressure washing immediately before. So let's get going. We're not going to pre-treat the concrete with any water. We just pressure wash, so it should go pretty smoothly here. So stay tuned. So you see, it really goes a long way. It goes a really long way. A 5-gallon bucket of this stuff is going to complete about 1,700 square feet or so, maybe a little more, maybe a little less. It all depends on the porosity of the surface. And you don't have to cross-hatch it like I'm doing, but I'm just trying to spread this out as thin as possible, you know. This is a 3/8 inch nap roller. So again, only one coat on this stuff. If you put 2, it's going to be a horrible mess. Okay, so MVB is finished. A couple things I noticed that you need to know about. I was using a 3/8 soft woven nap. I don't really like those. It's the white ones. I don't really like those. I would rather have had a 1/2 inch nap roller. That being said, you know, sometimes I noticed it was going out like a silky smooth layer. And then other times I noticed it was a little foamy, and I talked to Acuron, and that's because of different porosities. You know, sometimes it's really going to soak it in. Other times it's going to be a little foamy if it's having a hard time getting in. No problem. You just want to back roll that foam. Okay, you don't want any globby residual foam hanging out and drying like that. You always want to back roll it into consistency. Another thing is that, CPT2000, which we did yesterday with the airless sprayer, that can go in, and then 30 minutes later, it could rain and rain and rain for a week. It doesn't matter. CPT2000 is going to be fine. It's going to do what it needs to do. If you're doing the MVB, as we have done today, if it rains, as long as it has about 30 minutes to an hour to get in there and dry, and then it rains, it's not a big deal, but it will delay the cure, okay? So therefore, you have 24 hours after the CPT2000, then you can put the MVB on. We put the MVB on today. Now we're going to wait another 24 hours until we put any kind of coating on it, right? If it rains, it could delay the cure of the MVB. So before you put any kind of coating on, including the cool pool deck coating, you need to make sure that it's been at least 24 hours without rain and that there's no hazy or cloudiness going on with the MVB or anywhere on the surface. If you see any kind of hazy, cloudy finish starting to appear, that's okay, and it's normal. It's just moisture trying to get out of there, and the MVB is doing its thing, but you cannot put a coating on it in that state. So all you have to do is just wait maybe another day, let all that go away, and then you'll be good to go. Again, I want to say this is not mandatory in the cool pool deck coating system, but on these certain situations where you have a high level of moisture or perhaps some really suspect concrete, this is the only way you can have a coating on your pool deck. So our number is 888-776-2242. You can always call us and we'll walk you through this. But this video, I hope, is going to offer a lot of clarity. We're going to be putting like a tan color on this pool. I don't think we're going to turn it into a step-by-step how-to. We have one of those for the cool process, but you'll see us mixing the bucket, cutting in, rolling it out. Maybe we'll have some rolling technique tips and tricks. So stay tuned, and thanks as always for watching.